Assalamu alaikum. In today's video, we are looking at another game of Mikhail Tal which he played against Bukhuti Gurgenidze, and we will try to learn from this game that how to think and how to play like Mikhail Tal. Bukhuti was playing as a white, so he started the game with d4, knight to f6, c4, c5. This is Benoni defense. d5, e6. Knight to c3, e captures on d5, c captures on d5 and d6. If we look at this position, there are no pawns on this e file or c file with which we can exchange this d pawn, and this pawn would be quite annoying and dangerous for Mikhail Tal. So white played knight to f3, g6. Now Mikhail Tal would go with the fianchetto, his bishop, because we know that this bishop don't have any future on this e7. So e4, grabbing the center, bishop to g7, bishop to e2, and now both player castle on this king side. Rook to e8, placing this rook on this semi-open file and attacking this pawn with this knight and this rook. So white played knight to d2, defending this e4 pawn, knight to a6, because clearly we cannot develop this knight on c6, and the d7 is not a good square for this knight. And now Mikhail Tal can place this knight on this b4 or c7 square whenever he want. Rook to e1, and now knight to c7 as expected. a4, b6. The simple plan is to play a6 and b5. Remember, you cannot straight away play this a6 because now white can play a5, and now we cannot push this pawn because of this a5 pawn. So that's why Mikhail Tal first played b6, queen to c2. And now here's the lesson for us. Till now Mikhail Tal was playing on this queen side, but after queen to c2 here he realizes that the rook on e1 is undefended and this white king is not in a good position because none of his pieces are defending this king. So that's why he straight away played knight to g4, attacking the king side. The simple threat is now Mikhail Tal would play queen to h4, attack the h2 square or f2 square. The best and clear option for the white is to play bishop captures on g4, and after bishop captures on g4, this position is equal for the both players and this game is open for every result. But white missed it and he played h3. And now Mikhail Tal sacrificed his knight by playing knight captures on f2, giving away his knight for only one pawn. White accepts it, king captures on f2, and now Mikhail Tal played queen to h4 check. Advancing this king does not look like a good idea, and if we go to g1, then this rook is undefended. That's why he played king to f1. In chess, it is very important to know that only thing that matters is with how many pieces you are playing. It does not matter how many pieces you have. At this position, Mikhail Tal is a piece down, but his position is much better than white because his remaining pieces are well placed, and we will look at its advantages in next few moves. Mikhail Tal played bishop to d4, such a dangerous move. Now Mikhail Tal is threatening the checkmate in one move, and there's only one move that can save this checkmate, knight to d1, and that's what white played. And again Mikhail Tal played his signature move, queen captures on h3, giving away his queen, but remember you cannot capture it because of bishop captures on h3 checkmate. That's why white didn't capture it, and at this position Mikhail Tal is again threatening queen to h1 checkmate. So that's why white played bishop to f3, giving this square to king to run after queen to h1. Queen to h2, knight to e3 and f5. Mikhail Tal knows his attack is going really well, and now he wants to open this f file and e file. Knight d to c4, f captures on e4, bishop captures on e4, and now this f file and e file is open for Mikhail Tal. And if we look at this white king, it's very weak, and seriously this is not a good position for the white. And now Mikhail Tal again played a really good move, bishop to a6, pinning this knight. Bishop to f3, covering this f file physically. Rook to e5. The simple plan is to play rook a to e8 and make a battery of the rooks. White knows, so he played rook to a3, giving another defender to this knight. Now rook a to e8, bishop to d2, and here Mikhail Tal found a brilliant way to win a pawn and make this position worse for the white. Mikhail Tal played knight captures on d5. Remember, you cannot capture it with the knight because of queen to h1 checkmate. So that's why he played bishop captures on d5 check, and now rook captures on d5, and for the same reason you cannot capture it with the knight because of queen to h1 checkmate. So now white realizes his position is crumbling, so he tried to run away from the crime scene. King to e2, bishop captures on e3, rook captures on e3, and Mikhail Tal finished this game with bishop captures on c4, and this is where Bukhuti resigned. If you think you can capture this bishop, but remember there is a checkmate by force in 2 moves. And let's say you cannot capture it with the queen and you tried to run, but now we will play rook captures on e3, rook captures on e3, queen to g1 check, rook to e1, and now after rook to f2, this position is totally lost for the white because now bishop to b3 is coming, and if you capture it then queen captures on d2 is a checkmate. And let's say you try to run, but now bishop to b3 is unstoppable. Remember, if you capture it, but now queen captures on d2, and after queen captures on e1, this position is totally winning for Mikhail Tal. So that's the reason why Bukhuti resigned. So the main thing that we have learned from this game of Magician is it doesn't matter how many pieces you have, the only thing that matters is with how many pieces you are playing. So I hope you like this brilliant game of Mikhail Tal, and if you like it, please subscribe to this channel to get more amazing and inspiring content.